All right.
You got like at least like 10 guys. You know, here's
Hello, everyone. Andrew here for Drew Games, back with episode 48 of the live version of the gaming podcast here on the YouTube channel of Drew Games. You know, the one watching right now. With that in mind, joining me is actually all of us for once. Back with us is my younger brother, Desert Nord. Hey, bro.
hey there.
Fuck, I gotta turn that up still. Hopefully that'll be good enough. And also, guy who does not miss these, Joshy. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night for flippers.
So you're trying to end the stream already when it starts?
Yeah, I just trying to be well, just like I don't know like what time it is going to be like.
Yeah, people may be watching
our
this.
stuff.
Or as
People may be watching across the entire world.
or as Craig Ferguson would say, whatever time it is in your region.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Which I guess in your region with Craig Ferguson at the time could have been a sex thing.
You know, everything was.
But I digress. But we love you, Craig. But
Yeah.
On today's stream, we're going to be going over the Gears of War collection, as you see by the title and the thumbnail, and all that. EA confirms that Respawn Entertainment is working on a bunch of new Star Wars games. We'll get into that. Aaron Greenberg pissed off some Sony ponies by changing his avatar on, I guess, on his Twitter. And also PlayStation Plus for February has been announced, and Games with Gold as well for the month of February here in 2022. We'll get into that and compare those like we usually do. And we will end with an article that Joshy brought to my attention from geeksandgamers.com, going over a full list of games that they compiled on their site of games that are still coming out this year and when they're actually coming out. So, and talking about the ones that actually mean something to us that we intend on covering or that we might be interested in at the end. So stick around for that. But with that in mind, Gears of War might be getting a Master Chief collection treatment at some point. Nord, you and I have a long history of playing that together.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did.
So I'll throw it to you first. Your thoughts on, I guess, what I'm going to call until Microsoft formally announces it with an actual name, the Marcus Phoenix collection.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term.
Well, that's what it should be. I mean, that was always the story around Marcus and his team was always the core of what made that entire series great. So,
Indeed.
I mean, the fact that, you know, they kind of got away from that is really what didn't keep the series in favor with a lot of people. I mean, pretty much, it's like Star Wars in a way. You know what I mean? Marcus Phoenix is Luke Skywalker to all of us in terms of Gears of War.
Or in terms of Xbox IPs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they used his face. His face is like practically the symbol of Xbox for like years.
Well,
Gears of War was such a massive opening success for Xbox that, you know, he could barely be contained.
Well, for a time they used him as the face, but let's face it, it's always been Master Chief that's been the face of Xbox.
No, I know, but you're talking about the original. I meant to say the 360 because the original Xbox. You're right.
True.
But the 360, it was Marcus Phoenix.
True. But in a way, it feels like Marcus Phoenix is treated kind of like how Crash Bandicoot was treated by Sony with the PlayStation 1 for the most part. Does that make sense?
It's just another case of, that whole living long enough to see yourself become the bad guy, or see your series die in the case of video games.
Yeah, so in a way it's kind of like, Master Chief was the face of Xbox. Then you have someone who can compete with him, but he's only the face of just this one system, and then we move on back to Chief again. In the case of Marcus Phoenix.
I still believe in whatever. People can hate and whatever, but I still believe that Gears 1, 2, and 3 was all that there should have ever been.
Yes.
And
I believe that, because 1, 2, 3 for the Epic Games and whatnot, though, that should have been like there. But the 4 and 5, it kind of seems like they're kind of going with the
with his son.
No, you got Kate. Basically, it's kind of like Kate's story. Basically, we're focusing on Kate's story. Like
they did exactly what they always do. They go away from the main characters. They go away from the main core of the story. They start doing diversity stuff, and it goes right downhill.
We got
in my opinion,
Red Hood in the chat here asking something. You guys think that they will change anything in the collection to not offend certain audiences? I think I think they will.
If they're given any purview to change the content, they'll definitely go for that.
So, of what kind of boob armor there was in the game, I think they're going to change that and just make any future female Gears look like Abby, effectively.
Or just put guy armor on them.
That's kind of where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
Either way, on Gears 5, like when I see the female character, like they do have their armor, but it's just like it's not like like how basically like you see a female like okay they get like the chest armor and whatnot. Though. Like Gears 5, it's good, but like the story was okay. But like for the multiplayer and whatnot, though, for like any of the characters and whatnot, though, like it seems okay. It's just I don't know. They tried. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say there was a time in Illustrated Gaming when the female characters were either unabashedly female characters, okay, not afraid or not worried or not like trying to hide their femininity, and the ones that were not comfortable with it. Like the ones that were not happy that they had to hide it. Okay. And so it wasn't seen as like, oh well, if we defeminize, we defemalize our character, our female character, then that person will be more proud. No, they never illustrated it that way, and it's not true anyway. But here they go with it. That's what they continue to do now. They try to take your female character and say, well, basically, screw you. We're not going to make your female character actually female because fuck you. We don't like you. You men you. And we know what you're doing. We know you're enjoying this. So fuck you. We're not gonna let you enjoy this. That's all it is.
There's also the fact that they took out cigars and cigarettes from Gears 5. Basically.
Yeah. Here is my. What's that, Josh?
No, there was that. Oh yes. Yeah.
Here's my point of view with like defeminizing women in games. There's a reason that they wear boob armor. In fact, two very important reasons. And they both need to be protected.
Well, here's the thing. It's normally a matter of ergonomic and comfort. Like, if you have large breasts and you're wearing a male chest plate,
it's gonna hurt. Ow.
Like, that's not comfortable.
You have to have something that bends out around those giant things.
Boob armor ever came to be illustrated in games or anywhere else is because if a woman's going to wear armor and she's got curves, she's not going to want to jam them into some male flat chest plate. she's going to want it to be ergonomic for her situation.
And as we know, the fake woke pieces of shit would rather that women just cut them off and just stick in the men and just stick their asses into the men's armor anyway.
Sure, because, dissatisfying men and being mad at them is basically what feminism has become. When, the origin of boob armor was actually a feminist statement to say, look, hey, we've got our own thing. Now it's, never mind that. We're going to try and make all women into men, basically.
We've gone from talking about the Gears of War collection to praising at the altar of giant boobs.
Well, here's the thing. If they are given any leeway to change things with what they've already done with Gears of War in this upcoming possible release, they're going to do exactly what we think they're going to do. If they're given any leeway.
And that's wokeified. And the sales will, I really shouldn't just say sales because obviously it'll be on Game Pass. Downloads of it will probably be less than what they expect because
we're supposed to basically get a game, have it be, a couple of guy characters that are kind of like guys, but not really because they're in touch with their feelings and all that. And then a bunch of other characters that are supposed to be females, but they basically look like guys too. That we're supposed to celebrate as some sort of celebration of diversity or something. I really don't know what their minds are on at this point.
Yeah.
We're supposed to look at a bunch of guys, some of them are feminine and some of them more masculine, and go, wow, isn't this a diverse bunch?
And then Red Hood in the chat, or have their rib cage crush their lungs. Sounds terrifying. Because you have to make room for essentially the girls.
Yeah.
For lack of a better nickname.
Yeah, or can you imagine a character, like say if the characters were actually, seriously, stacked. It just gets worse.
As I said, to defeminize women is essentially to disrespect them. As much as it is to demasculate a man.
Oh, sure. Yeah, well.
And that's what these weirdos are all into. I guess, essentially demasculating or defeminizing themselves too.
Well, it's a consequence of them hating. It's a consequence of them hating what is and wanting what isn't to be. That's
to be what is. Kind of like they want men to get pregnant, which physically impossible, but
many examples at this point.
But anyway, to wrap up the thoughts of the Gears of War collection, now that Red Hood has opened up a can of worms here for us with that first comment, but it's a discussion that needed to be had just the same.
Oh, yeah.
Technically, Gears 1 through 3 was not really woke.
No,
so
it wasn't.
They did with a collision, though. Gears 4 was not bad, but then once they got Gears 5, in my opinion, it did go off the rails and kind of went with the woke garbage. In my opinion, for Gears 5, and then now for Gears 6, since they're working on it, I know it's going to be Kate's story, so basically it's going to be kind of technically I do like what they're doing with the characters. They're kind of put the old characters in with the new characters. My opinion, though, because I'm a big Gears head, though. But yeah, it's they're not like how other games or other movies are basically how they just say, for instance, Star Wars, basically. Oh, our stuff, and go ahead and go with it, though. No, they're basically kind of involving the old characters with the new characters, kind of like how what is it? The Cobra Kai thing. How Cobra Kai, I guess.
Sure, and they do it correctly with Cobra Kai. Yeah.
Yeah, they do it correctly with Cobra Kai, though. But yeah, Yeah, it's just that what is it? They're doing it kind of correctly with like Marcus Phoenix and whatnot, though, kind of like it, kind of evening it out for the characters.
Yeah,
So
it's just
far-
there's been a serious feeling of tailing off with Gears series. It's just felt that way.
It's just that now with the Gears 5, with the story, it's just that like you can see they kind of went woke with just the 8 story. So because Gears 1 through 3 and 4 were like not bad. Just that like all of a sudden Gears 5 pops up and it just went to the wokeness. Like okay, so Gears 6 is basically gonna be woke. But besides that, like all the like multiplayer characters or whatnot, though, for the female characters, like I don't see them like what is it like the armor is fine for the female characters. I get that. It's just like I don't know.
Sure, yeah, that's the thing though. Like that, the game was made a couple of years ago now, and so like it's the current crew that you worry about. It's the current designers and game developers that you worry about. Not what they did in the past so much as what they plan to do. You know, if they're allowed to touch the old work, they'll ruin it.
So, final thoughts on Gears of War collection before we get to the next topic.
Really looking forward to it. Seeing if there's focus in it though, because basically Gears 2 was my basically baby. Because Gears 2 is basically my first multiplayer experience for online. So Gears 2 has like thing in my heart. So basically, yeah.
I think my first multiplayer experience wasn't even on a console. That was Star Wars: The Old Republic on PC.
Yeah, the thing was with my thing was what is it? My 360 had a red ring of death. So I gave it to Microsoft, and they gave me like a month free of Xbox. So basically, that was the first time I actually went live. And the first game I actually ever tried live was basically Gears of War 2. Basically, Gears has a place in my heart. I do love Gears, like no matter what.
Fair enough. And
that was the thing I was gonna say. It's like this has no reason to not be perfectly great. There's no reason that this shouldn't be perfectly great, perfectly acceptable, and sell them a lot of copies. But they always find a way to claw defeat out of the jaws of victory.
You guys play Gears 5, right?
I have, yes.
I haven't played Gears 5.
Oh, I can't find it.
This is gonna be
spoilers.
This is gonna be spoilers.
It's all right.
The robot is worth jack shit in Gears 5. You upgrade him to like the max, but then at the end, he basically takes his life and kills the damn freaking end boss at the damn level. It's like, why would you like upgrade all your stupid shit to your stupid robot to have him just go ahead and kill the final boss at the last end? It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's just, yeah, because it's basically like pointless to go ahead and upgrade your stupid damn robot. You're like 100% complete, and all of a sudden he just like sacrifices himself for everything. I'm like, yeah, because like I was like upgrading him like no problem, and all of a sudden at the end, when he sacrifices himself at the end, like what was the point of just what was the point of him fucking like getting the upgrades and shit? He's gonna go ahead and take his damn life at the fucking end.
So to wrap up,
they used to have things like that on accident in game developing. Now they do it on purpose.
So
they did it on purpose though. So it's like basically, the stupid robot was like, I upgraded him like to 100% fully max, and all of a sudden at the end he just like all of a sudden sacrifices himself for the last damn boss. It's like, what the hell? Like, why did I even get him 100% completion? and then all of a sudden he just like kills himself at the end. It's just kind of pointless, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So to wrap up the Gears of War hour part of this,
The Gears of War hour.
effectively, because we got like 4 other things to talk about. Here's my Gears of War dog tags with, as it says here,
Gears of War stuff.
the property of the Coalition of the Order of Governments.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Gears of War is my heart and blood, but yeah, for Gears of War 2, it's basically got a really good place in my heart. Though I love Gears of War.
Yeah, but speaking of, what's that?
I know on my YouTube videos, I only get like 2 YouTube videos, but I do have a couple retro Lancers. I do have a Lancer as well too that I bought. I do have. Well, for Gears of War 3, I actually did buy the Retro Lancer, to buy the Gears of War console. I do have the special edition Gears of War 3. Still in the background though, but I need to put them somewhere. So basically, if I go to YouTube again, I can actually show them though. But yeah, Gears of War is basically like has a deep
place in our
thing in
hearts
my
here
heart.
for the 3 of
place in
us.
my heart.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention about that. There's 2, you guys will know, there's 2 achievements on the Xbox at least for Gears of War 2 that only the most loving of players would have ever gotten. And one was Party Legacy 1999, and the other one was the 100,000 kills.
Yeah,
Some of us actually went that far.
indeed. But I'm glad you were talking about robots because we got something here to talk about from Respawn Entertainment, who is known for Titanfall. So a game about robots. That's the segue, apparently.
Titanfall is awesome. Just on a side note,
yeah,
there was a company that did sell Titanfall action figures. They're like $500 each. I did have like articulation and shit. I do have all those. I have them in the box still. I don't have like any cases to go ahead and then put them out.
I played through
So,
Titan. Yeah, I played through.
One of these days, I'm gonna go ahead and like basically like unbox them and put them in cases though. But like, but from like basically the company that did make them. Excuse me. 150 times perfect. Models that they made.
Mm-hmm.
One second.
All right. Well, as I was trying to say, though, I played through Titanfall 2 on the PS4 at the time, trying to work my way through it on Xbox, currently still. But when I have time to get through that, I might as well try to stream that on Twitch as I'm trying to get through it. But
Titanfall does have a place in my heart as well too, but not as much as Gears. Gears, like I have
true.
Respect. Yeah, I lead Gears of War.
But what's that?
My second leading theory is basically Titanfall. So basically, Gears of War, Titanfall, and then it goes Halo. So.
But
right now, it's just garbage.
With
Sorry.
that in mind,
Right.
EA confirms that Respawn Entertainment will be working on new Star Wars titles, 3 in particular: The Next Jedi game, a first-person shooter, and a new strategy Star Wars game. So let's dissect these 3 here. A new Jedi game. Everyone and their grandmother, effectively, also known as, well, if she were still with us, God rest her soul, Skyrim Grandma, if she were still here then. is expecting this to be the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order. And EA would be stupid not to do another Jedi Fallen Order at this point.
Yeah, I've heard about the Jedi Fallen Order. I heard this when I played for Jedi Fallen Order. It was awesome.
Indeed, it is.
Yeah, I've heard that there's supposed to be. That's why I'm up for that.
Yeah. Nord?
Yep.
Okay, I guess that's all we're getting out of him.
Well, you have to ask me a question.
The question was, any thoughts on the Jedi game being the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order? Because that's what everybody thinks, and we don't have your opinion on that.
That would be the easiest prediction for sure.
As long as as long as that damn chick from damn Boba Fett says that she's not what is it with the stupid what is it, the Jawas? What is it? As long as she doesn't come in the damn story and says, "Oh, Jawas are hairy," blah 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 blah. From the last episode.
Yeah.
That took me out of this whole fucking Boba Fett episode though. But actually, sorry, Mandalorian episode as we speak. But yeah, like the whole episode for that episode was awesome. It's just that took me out of the shit. Because she's like, "Oh, I was with Jawas and they're hairy," and she's like starting to like spit out fucking hair. It's like, really? That just took me out.
Yeah, like is that supposed to be funny?
So you heard it here, folks. When Josh is watching the Book of Boba Fett, he's getting into some shit.
Yeah, sure.
Well, the way he said that it takes me out of the shit, so he was getting into some shit. That's the only logical train of thought there.
It's kind of like when in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, one of the characters cracks some like fourth wall breaking joke. It's like you start to wonder whether the damn movie is taking itself seriously. Yeah, and in the case of the television show, in this case,
yeah.
Like, is it just here to clown around and act like a damn, a circus, or is it actually telling a compelling story?
So we'll be interested in looking into where this Jedi game goes and what's actually going on. But could you imagine that if Respawn was actually doing a Knights of the Old Republic 3? That would be interesting. In the style of Jedi Fallen Order, to a degree.
I would have liked it if they would have kept the LucasArts name and basically did the the 1313? Because that looked awesome as hell.
Yeah.
When they canceled it.
But speaking of that new Star Wars first-person shooter, now any information on this is scarce as hell. But all there is one of the leads from an older Star Wars franchise who worked when Pandemic on the original Battlefront games. He is working or helping work on this, a first-person shooter Star Wars game. Does this mean that there's going to be a batter? Yeah. Well. Yeah. Well, first of all, the Battlefront franchise is battered at this point, but a better Battlefront game from Respawn. Is that what this means, or is this something completely different? Or is this basically an Imperial version of Republic Commando, so Imperial Commando. It's just the same squad, but effectively during the rule of the Empire, when they were stormtroopers. We can only speculate, and that's all we're doing here. on what's going on, but the fact that one of the heads from the original Battlefront games is working on this with Respawn is actually encouraging. In spite of the fact that it's EA.
Well, I do like Respawn as a company, regardless of like anything though. They did Titanfall 2, Apex Legends, which was awesome, but I don't really say Epic. Yeah, it's just that they also did the Jedi Fallen Order, and that was pretty damn awesome. It was kind of like a mild version of the Dark Souls. Pretty damn good. So,
Yeah.
Like I am anything Respawn does, I'm highly for it. So.
And then the Nord, any last things about a new first-person shooter Star Wars game? Before we get to the third one.
It's another one of those games that has immense potential.
Yeah, because there hasn't been a proper good first-person shooter or FPS Star Wars game in a long time.
Yeah, and a lot of people like the saber play, of course, which has to be a part of it. But there hasn't been one, and Star Wars has really fallen off in terms of popularity thanks to Disney. But
there's slight hope when it comes to the Star Wars games, at least at this point.
The thing is, it'll still sell in terms of, if people find out there's a good game that just came out from Star Wars, anything Star Wars related, they'll buy it.
Yeah, like Jedi Fallen Order, is the most recent example.
Even after the beating and the abuse and the neglect and the horror of what Disney has done, it still has immense potential financially for the developer that does it correctly.
Yeah, and speaking of doing something correctly, a new strategy game, and according to reports, in the vein of an XCOM style game. So XCOM with Star Wars paint, for lack of a better way to describe it. There are some people who are going to get highly excited about that, and rightly so. Those kind of games aren't really my thing, so I'm probably not going to touch it unless people go as like, this is the best strategy turn-based Star Wars game that there is in existence. And at that point I'll go, so it's better than Knights of the Old Republic, which was also a turn-based action-adventure RPG, though.
Very few things will ever be better than that game.
Yeah.
When you consider it in its place, in its time, by its developer, it was a masterpiece. And it really just still stands up, even now.
But
that's what she said.
But
because a lot of games will be like, oh well, they had their day in the sun and they're kind of passé. No, they still haven't done better than that. Sad, but it's true. They still haven't done better.
But thoughts on the XCOM Star Wars game potentially coming from Respawn?
Yeah. Well, again, I can't speak to it specifically because we don't know, but it has every right to be a great game.
Indeed. Joshy?
Just looking forward to any type of Star Wars games coming out, though.
We'll see, but those are our thoughts on that. Next topic we got Aaron Greenberg of Xbox changed his avatar on Twitter, at least I believe it's Twitter, of him standing next to Crash Bandicoot, and people are pissed online. When I say people are pissed online, you obviously know who I mean because it's one of the heads of Xbox doing this with a recently acquired character. PlayStation fans, for the most part. Here's the thing. When someone changes their Twitter profile picture, who gives a shit? If it doesn't
Yeah,
violate
not
the terms
exactly-
of service, who cares?
It's not exactly an earth-shattering event. Yeah.
No, it's not. But I know some
Earth-shattering-
people online that
earth-shattering
would
it, bro.
probably say that it is an earth-shattering event because Crash Bandicoot is now owned by Xbox, who was one of the faces of PlayStation. Yeah, but
Well, I mean, it's a shakeup, but it's what happens.
it's what
the real
happens
earthquake
when a company
real
is
earthquake
trying to
is-
compete again.
Yeah. The real earthquake is the ownership changing.
Yeah. Or
You
should we say on the verge of it?
Yeah, I'm just saying that's the real earthquake. It's not like, oh my God,
Yeah.
now we're gonna all react individually to each one of our IPs being with a different company. It's like that's what the earthquake was about with the purchase. It's like, are we that lack of memory? We don't even remember our favorite titles until they are brought up individually.
I'm fairly certain that's the same type of people that complain, like when, for example, when something goes exclusive to a console that was previously like on all platforms. For example, like the biggest uproar about this that I heard was when Microsoft bought Bethesda, and then some Sony ponies or PlayStation fans, for a better way to refer to them, we're in an uproar. They're going, Elder Scrolls was never exclusive to Xbox. Morrowind was a console exclusive to Xbox, guys.
Yeah. Well,
That was never on PlayStation 2. It was on PC, obviously, because that's where Elder Scrolls started in the first place.
At that point, they're just displaying how little of the Elder Scrolls series they've actually played.
Yeah. But to sit there and say that something was never exclusive, like, for example, if Mass Effect were to go exclusive to Xbox again, watch them say, it was never exclusive. Go back and play the original port of Mass Effect 1. One of the credits on the opening of the game is Microsoft Game Studios themselves.
Yeah, and you think that Sony was gonna just release a game that's by Microsoft? Clearly no, they weren't. So yeah, it wasn't exclusive.
Except for we've seen on Game Pass recently Sony's logo in MLB The Show. So there's that. But that I still believe that was Major League Baseball pushing for their game to be a multi-plat to some more people could play it. And not so much something that Sony wanted, but something that turned off. But more so something that MLB did, which, by the way, the NFL should do with fucking Madden. Push EA to actually make a good game, but as we've constantly seen from interviews from the commissioner of the NFL, he's happy and overjoyed and tickled furry at the business relationship with EA and Andrew Rotten, whatever the fuck his name is, that heads up Electronic Arts as his president. But either way, any last thoughts about Aaron Greenberg business, or should we just move on to the Instant Game Collection for February here?
Nah, we can just move on. I mean, Aaron just needs to chill.
Well, I don't think he did anything wrong, but that's just me. But keep in mind that I'm a fence sitter when it comes to the console war, because I play on Nintendo and PlayStation and Xbox and PC. So I don't wave the fucking flag for any one system. I wave a black flag with a skull and crossbones on it that says gaming. And yes, I'm wearing the Xbox stuff because that is my preferred platform, but that doesn't mean that I will go screeching from the mountaintops that are like, Xbox is better than everything. They all have their fucking problems, folks.
Yeah.
Red Hood says people are way too salty nowadays, and the littlest things set them off. It's very sad. Well, I'm increasingly growing numb to it, so.
That's what she said.
Hopefully not, but hey.
I'm not sure what relationships you've had in the past, Joshy. But speaking of interesting relationships, PlayStation Plus Instant Game Collection for February of 2022 has been announced. For PlayStation 4, we're getting UFC 4, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands one-shot demo thingamajig, and a Planet Coaster console edition for PS5.
Yep.
What are y'all's thoughts on these 3 games for the PlayStation side for the free game offerings for subscribers?
Well, I would say it's another middle of the road one.
Josh?
Technically, the Borderlands 1 should have been free in the first place, though, because basically that was DLC that came out for Borderlands 2. Basically, they're just like kind of like the DLC just for like itself. Like, here, play this before the damn what is it? The game going to come out here for Tiny Tina's thing.
So
It should have been free to begin with, though, because basically it's just fucking DLC from Borderlands 2.
So Sony is giving effectively out one game for PS4 owners and DLC for another at that point. Which is kind of the situation in which I don't remember exactly what month or what year it was, but at one point they gave like $100 worth of stuff in Smite away in PlayStation Plus for free. And I'm like, that's a fucking free-to-play game, first of all. And secondly, who gives a shit?
As of right now, like Xbox is charging $10 for that deal for that Borderlands. Like, I was like looking into it. I'm like, that looks like the DLC from the Plus 2. I'm like, am I gonna buy that? And I talked to one of my buddies. And like, yeah, it's basically the DLC for Borderlands 2. They're charging $10 for it.
On a scale of 0 to 10, I'm giving the offerings that PlayStation is giving PlayStation Plus subscribers for the month of February like a 3 or 4 out of 10 for this month.
Don't get me wrong, that DLC for that Borderlands is good. It's just that they're charging $10 for it. And
secondly, generally, you should be like giving games away. It's called Instant Game Collection. It's not called Instant DLC Collection. So, one game for PS4 owners, DLC for it, and for PS5, one game. Meanwhile, Xbox is still giving 4 games away because, to move on, games with gold. For the month of February, we're getting Broken Sword from the 1st to the 28th. Never Yield from February 16th to March 15th. Hydrophobia from the 1st to the 15th. And Bugs from 16th to the 28th. I don't know what the fuck any of these games are. So
every time Xbox does have like a games with gold stuff,
yeah,
every like 4 or 5 months they always have like one good game. Other than that, I always download like all the free games just to get that way I have more of a collection. So like if I'm bored, I'm able to play them.
So
other than that, it's just like these games like you said, I have no idea what the hell they are, and I'm gonna download them. Just basically play them.
So I'm
They're
gonna
free. I'll download it.
So I'm going to let you preview the games with gold games, and you let me know if anything is worth covering for Free-to-Play Friday then. Otherwise, on paper, I'm not going to plan a Free-to-Play Friday for February either.
Yeah, I'll make sure
At this
that
point.
it has multiplayer. Like how we did
Because
last
I ain't touching UFC 4 and screw the DLC for Borderlands that PlayStation's giving. Because I'm going to make my point. Stop giving away DLC and claiming that it's a free fucking game, Sony. You're a piece of shit company. And Microsoft, and to be fair, on a scale of 0 to 10, in my opinion, the games with gold offerings, at least it's 4 games on paper, compared to Sony with 1 game for PS4 and 1 game for PS5, and 1 bit of DLC, which is playable on both. Microsoft gets like a 4 to a 5 out of 10, so it's a bit better, but still, there's nothing to write home about for the games though. For February, which is good because in February, speaking of which, we're closing this out with an article from Geeks and Gamers that Joshy brought to my attention. So shout out to Joshy for this. It's a list of games that's coming out this year.
Oh, yeah.
So with that in mind, I know you guys can't see it, but I got it in my screen in front of me, and I will have to bounce back over to see the chat every once in a while from the article because it's in the same place here. But we got, well, actually, no, I can see the chat on my phone, so never mind. But with that being said, we know that Deep Rock Galactic came out on January 4th, which Chunk the Punk and I did some of on PlayStation in a very limited fashion because the servers weren't functioning for the YouTube app on PlayStation at the time all that well. But beyond that, anything that leaps out, do you guys have, well, the only one that would really have it open is Joshy, I think, on his end, because he sent it to me. So do you have it open, Joshy?
Yes, I am.
That's nice. There's a missed call there.
Excuse me.
But does anything leap out to you on here other than, let's see.
I'm like 2. I know you're going to be with that.
Yeah, that comes out
Ollie World
soon on the 4th.
Ollie World. I gotta check out what Ollie World is though, because I know that they did the the whole Oddworld series. I'm like very intrigued on because I've been like all in that since I was like a little kid though. I don't even know if they're gonna have like a new Oddworld game or whatnot though, because like so far they've been re-releasing same stupid Oddworld game like forever on PlayStation 4 and now on Xbox as well too. It's just, come on, make a new Oddworld game, you know?
Yeah. But speaking of new games, Pokemon Legends Arceus is well, I've been hearing people being so confused on what to call it. And anytime I hear people like arguing over it, I'm like, tomato.
Well, here, let me clear the air a little bit.
All right.
In Detective Pikachu, the film,
yeah,
Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu calls it Arceus. Just saying.
So you're basing it on a Hollywood actor saying it.
Well, I mean, it's an official film and it was a success.
So I guess we're taking Ryan Reynolds' word as law on how to pronounce a Pokemon.
Well, I mean,
technically that does make sense if it's Arceus though, but if it's Arceus though, it just doesn't sound right with the tongue, you know? Like Arceus sounds like it's more like
take away the A and the R, and what would that word be?
Ass.
Well, it'd be Seius.
Yeah.
It'd be Seius.
Yeah.
Because the U makes the E into an A sound.
Yeah.
Now you put the AR back, and then suddenly it's Arceus.
All right.
See,
So Pokemon Legends
I'm just saying,
Arceus
I know that
is
Pokemon
really,
is a
really
Japanese
good.
thing, but still.
No, I know Ryan Kendall actually did play it, and he like the next day he's like, okay, I want to play some more.
Yeah, I've been playing it too on my Switch, and I'm loving it too. So
Honestly, I never even heard of this Pokemon Arceus. Like, not
Yeah, that's okay.
So like, I'm not really into Pokemon. I do have Pokemon Go, but I don't really play it as much. So
Yeah, it's
like,
like I said, it's
if you're a
understandable.
Pokemon fan, I understand, but it's just that I'm not like really into Pokemon, so it's just like, okay, they got Arceus that came out. Okay, I never heard of it and never just magically appeared out of nowhere. Like in my opinion, though, because like it's possibly that they did have trailers and whatnot for it, though. But it's just like off my radar, and all of a sudden like it just popped up, and now it's like everybody's like, oh, this is the game to play now, and like you see like a whole bunch of like streamers and everybody like playing this damn Pokemon Arceus. It just came out of nowhere, like in my opinion, though, because like I never heard of it, or yeah, I'm not really a Pokemon.
I had been made aware of it by Desert Nord at the time.
Yeah.
Before its release. It was like a year before it came out, so
Yeah, there has been a constant. If for the fans of Pokemon, there has been a constant stream of new things this whole time. It just hasn't broken through much to the mainstream and a lot of it.
kind of like how this game is kind of doing right now.
Yeah, Pokemon Go was like the last time anything broke through into the mainstream.
Yeah.
And so this was like the second time since then that something has done that.
Can't wait to see how Hillary Clinton's going to pronounce this. But either way.
I don't care.
Other than that, let's see what we got on the list of the geek gamers.
So Dying Light 2 is on this Friday, so I will be trying to play that on Twitch for you guys. Let's see. Anything else that leaps out here?
Yeah, I have to check out Ollie Ollie World. But one of my top like games that I'm looking forward to is what is it? That game called?
Kingdom Hearts.
No. It's that Russian game that's supposed to be coming out soon. It's supposed to be on Game Pass.
I'm just reading something off the list that's worth reporting here. Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5, 2.5, and 2.8 Final Chapter and 3 are all coming to the Switch on February 10th.
Well, technically, it says Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter. So basically, if it's a prologue, there's going to be like probably 2 or 3 other Final Chapter games there. Because basically, I know with the Kingdom Hearts games, they have like 20 billion games out there. Like, you got to get it on the Switch. You got to get on the, the 3DS, the 2DS, and whatnot, though. Because basically, you can't like fulfill the whole story unless you buy like every single Kingdom Hearts like on each system, though. Because basically, it just came out to Xbox, and basically, it's been always on like Nintendo and then the PlayStation as well too. But they have like at least like 20 million games out there. So basically, you're not going to get the whole story unless you like basically buy everything from before. It's just they got so many games out there. It's just like where to start. And basically, you got the prologue for like 1.5, prologue for like 2.6. I'm just saying. You got the sequel to like 2.6, and then you got the prologue for 2.6, and then you got the 2.6 there. So it's like, okay, that's 3 games, but still, you're saying it's basically just 1 game. So it's like, come on. You got like prologue 5.9, and then you got the sequel to 5.9 as well too. I'm just saying.
I'm just
like,
reading
so
the
many
list, Joshy.
I know.
Settle down.
I know.
And I will say this: they're coming to the Switch for all of the Kingdom Hearts simps, like Phil and Chunk the Punk, which we know are going to buy them for the Switch at that point.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts is not going to go away.
But speaking of old games coming to the Switch, on February 17th, Assassin's Creed the Ezio Collection comes to the Switch.
Yeah.
And
I'll pass.
on the 18th, Horizon Forbidden West comes to PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. I'll be playing that right here on this channel on YouTube when that comes, because that's a physical copy that I pre-ordered for that.
Just let me know how the that chick looks like on Forbidden West, though, please, though, because so far it seems like from the pictures they made her fat and ugly.
Well, I'm going to be streaming it on YouTube, so you'll be able to take a look for yourself too.
Yeah, because from the original Horizon, I've never played it though, but from the original Horizon, she was, forgive me, hot as hell. She was like a redhead that was really skinny and really hot, but all of a sudden, I've seen pictures of these new, Forbidden West, and she looks like that she gained a lot of weight, and basically they covered her whole body up. So basically, with the stupid thing that's going on now, you can't have a hot woman there. You always gotta fucking cover them up and make them fat, so they fucking are just whatever. It's just garbage in my opinion. You can't have no more beautiful women with basically skanky ass clothes in video games anymore. You always gotta have the fat chick with basically covered up or whatnot though. And they say that's beautiful. But it's don't get me wrong, they're beautiful and whatnot though. It's just, what's wrong
it's
with
gaslighting.
What's wrong with having a beautiful fucking redhead in a fucking game?
And that's actually the best case scenario when they're only gaslighting us about it. In the worst case scenario, they're basically you know what? We're going to make this character horrendous so that you can barely look at her without going for the bathroom, as a way to say fuck you to the men that play the game.
Yeah.
That's the worst case scenario, but that's what the most common scenario is at this point. They're trying to have all the female characters be absolutely horrendous so that you want basically nothing to do with them, in your mind.
Yeah.
But they still want you to love the character and think that she's brave and all this other crap.
So,
it's do you want me to love the character, or do you want me to run screaming from the character? Which is it? It's hard to tell these days.
Mm-hmm.
So the next game here to mention is Elden Ring, February 25th.
Yeah.
And we've already said quite a bit about that. That it's that from the gameplay that we saw, it looks like Dark Souls meets Skyrim in gameplay and functionality. So, and anything that is reminiscent of Skyrim, I'm interested in.
All right.
Oh yeah.
The Elden Ring, I've got no quarrel with that. So.
Gran Turismo 7 for PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 on March 4th. CD that's one of his top 3 anticipated games.
Yeah, the Valhalla Dawn of Ragnarok DLC.
I was just about to mention
March
that. 10th. Yeah, March 10th, yeah. Which I'll probably be getting at some point in the future. But I got a lot of shit to do. WWE 2K22 finally has a release date. It's March 11th.
I'll be looking for reviews on that and seeing how crappy it is.
Are you talking about WWE game?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be playing that at launch myself. I'm just debating if I should waste my time trying to stream it or not.
I just want to see if they did a good job or if they did a horrible job. Because like from the last wrestling game, like from what I've seen, like from Angry Joe or whatnot, though, it's just been just garbage. It's just like
yeah, that reminds me of the story of me trying to play 2K20 on Twitch to try to show off the glitches, and it wasn't glitching.
Ain't it a bitch?
Yeah.
But hey, everybody, watch this glitch, and it doesn't happen.
Well, considering that everyone had like stairs falling through the ring, the ropes like going all spaghetti, people's body limbs were going all spaghetti, and it looking like a kindergartner tried to make the game in their dad's fucking basement. And then I get on Twitch to try to play it, and it plays like an Xbox One game. Well, that's nice. Well, so much for my intentions here. Kirby and the Forgotten Land for the Switch on March 25th.
That brand new Kirby? I don't know. I can never keep up with them damn Kirby stuff because they basically
yes.
They push out Kirby like left and right. It's like, here, push out Kirby. I don't know. He seems like Kirby's like just like the redheaded stepson or whatnot though that they push out. In my opinion though, because like every time like you see here Kirby, it's basically, oh, we got a new game for Kirby. Like, is that a new game or what? It's just like random. It's just you know. My opinion,
the character's always been with us and is always going to be with us apparently.
And then on the same day, on March 25th, is also Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
Yeah. I'll be streaming that like as soon as the game comes out. So I'm gonna take the whole day off and just stream the whole day for Tiny.
Yep. Let's see anything else that's meaningful.
That's right. They did push back the Ash vs. Evil Dead game, whatever it's called. If you guys haven't heard, but yeah, you know the Evil Dead game that's supposed to be coming out. They pushed it back, so
of course they seem to always do that.
Otherwise, we're going to skip forward a few months because there isn't anything worth mentioning from after.
Technically, there's that Starship Troopers Terran Command that's supposed to be on PC March 31st. Like from the Angry Joe show that I've seen like a while ago, that actually looks pretty awesome, but it's only for PC. So I'm not going to buy it because I don't even have like a freaking gaming PC.
Otherwise, the next thing I'm going to get into is Starfield on November 11th.
Yep.
Well, there's the Vampire Masquerade Swan Song that comes out May 19. I don't know.
And evidently, Stalker 2 comes out December 8th, evidently.
Oh, there's one thing that I was like looking at right now too. For the Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah.
They have the Top Gun Maverick DLC that comes out May 27th. So I might go ahead and install the Flight Simulator, and hopefully, if that Top Gun DLC is free, I'll be able to stream that possibly.
You can go ahead and do that as far as I'm concerned, because I don't want to touch Flight Simulator after me attempting to play it on my own and going, all right, so where the fuck's the landing gear? And I keep crashing because I don't know where the landing gear is. I'm like, I quit.
Well, Flight Simulator is like a love-hate relationship with me, though. Like, basically, it's good, and then it's horrible as well, too. Basically, they don't have everything 100% like complete. So I understand like how they have to have like all the license and everything for every single like store and whatnot. Though, yeah, like I check my area. I go down to like say Wendy's or whatnot. Though it's basically just a random like store. Like I understand like they need license and everything for that stuff though, but like everything's like it's like 100% accurate, and then it's not. It is like 10% accurate. Is what I'm saying.
Yep.
And There's also another one that I'm looking at in June. Cuphead, the delicious last course, June 30th. Now, from the picture, it looks like they added a little emo character that's like a little sippy cup. She got a little straw, but she kind of looks like a sippy cup, though, but she's got a straw, like a mini straw in her thing, though. I don't know. If that's free, I'll probably go ahead and try it. I don't know. Either way, like Cuphead, I never even passed because it's so damn hard.
Yeah, it's ridiculously hard.
But yeah, so far, I think maybe it might be free. I don't know. Don't quote me on that though, because basically they said that basically what is it? From what I've heard, they have like 3 or 4 people that actually do Cuphead. Basically, that's why it's taking them so long, because basically just 3 or 4 people making it. So, yeah.
As far as the difficulty, it's like if Dark Souls were happy and friendly. You know.
Either way, yeah, that's the list of games that that Geeks and Gamers put out that's coming out this year, and a number of which that we're gonna be covering and messing around with.
Oh, there's a couple other games I want to talk about on here.
What's that?
The Woke Saints Row is supposed to be out in August, which is whatever though. But I'm surprised that they have another test drive coming out though. That's been a
long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time since Test Drive actually came out. So I was kind of surprised at how that, like in September, it says Test Drive Unlimited Soda Crown. Like Test Drive hasn't been out since a long time. So it's like all of a sudden they're making another Test Drive game come out. I'm kind of surprised at that. Like I'm kind of looking forward to seeing like how that Test Drive is going to be. So like that, Starfield is in November. Stalker 2 is in December. But game I'm looking forward to is Atomic Heart. That's supposed to be coming out for Game Pass as well too. So
yeah, my top anticipated is still Starfield at this point.
Yeah, I think I'll probably go ahead and stream Atomic Heart once it comes out though. But that's it. From the trailer, it's like BioShock-esque game though. But don't get me wrong.
That's high. That's high praise.
But say, for instance, We Happy Few, they sent out a trailer for a We Happy Few, and that, in my opinion, We Happy Few did feel and look exactly like BioShock. But then when they had the fucking game come out for us to play, it was basically like a survival game. I'm like, what the hell is this? And I just deleted it. I'm like, yeah, you give us like this trailer that's supposed to be like BioShock, but then you give us this survival shit. I'm like, bullshit, dude. I'm like, go ahead and delete this shit, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, give us like Atomic Heart actually does and look, if I want to say feel, because I haven't played it yet though, but so far that looks exactly like how like BioShock-esque. And the art direction in that game, it's just phenomenal. It's just like, yeah, okay, it's like, yeah. Let's say I'm giving like what is it? We Happy Few, basically like a 1 out of 10. It's basically they fucking lowered my expectations for that game. It's basically, you show the fucking trailer, it looks like BioShock, then they give us this fucking bullshit that's basically like a fucking survival game. Like, what the fuck is this? You fucking basically said it was basically BioShock. It was a stupid survival game. Fuck that.
Yeah. I do want to say one thing before we start wrapping up. Thank you to Red Hood, who is there for every Twitch stream for me, who is here for every one of these. So Red Hood is now earned the right to be a mod in the chat, as far as I'm concerned. So Red Hood, next time you type in, you'll see a wrench by your name.
There's also projected 2022 titles. You know, what? I'm just seeing this now. A Quiet Place. Hopefully, maybe it might be like with the movie, possibly. There's also what is it, Bayonetta 3 that's supposed to be coming out for the Switch.
Well,
that's basically gonna be a new title. And then there's Bear and Breakfast. That's kind of funny.
well,
It's a Switch and PC.
well, to me, Red Hood, it feels like you're here every stream, and I appreciate it, and I notice when you're here. So, same thing goes on Twitch when you're going by Dark Bad of Night as well, and I appreciate that too.
Yeah, appreciate you being here during Dark Knight. So, but yeah, there's also one other thing I'd like to mention. It says Cyberpunk 2077 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S is supposed to be out next year, but I'm not playing Cyberpunk until they release that version. Like, don't get me wrong, I loved it. I played over 100 hours in the game alone, even though it was buggy as hell. My Series X. But yeah, I did love that game. So I did over 100 hours though. But I'm highly looking forward to playing the upgrade version. That's that. What is it? Destiny 2 Lightfall supposed to be coming out here. Diablo Immortal. There's iOS and Android. No, I think we're basically past on that. Anything Diablo wise? I'd rather just wait for like Diablo 4 or whatever. I don't know. Dude, Spice Wars for PC. What? Anything for PC, I'll pass because I don't have like a damn high-end PC. What is this? Earth Defense Force 6. Earth Defense Force, is that, what is it, the, I want to say Asian game?
I've heard the name. I'm not familiar with it before.
Yeah, there was a couple games that were, like, free on Xbox, though, for Earth Defense Force. Like, I got Earth Defense Force 1, 2, 3, I believe, for free. But still, it's like, basically, it's not an American game. It's basically like an Asian game that basically is, I guess, dubbed in English, though. But still, it's like Asian people fighting against, like, what is it, like, super enormous, like, ants and bugs.
How many more games are we going to talk about here?
Evil Dead, we already talked about, but I'm still checking. And what else we have? In it, Lara Croft. There's a new Lara Croft. I don't know if that's a new Lara Croft. There's two Lara Crofts. Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light, and there's also Lara Croft and Temple of Osiris. Supposed to be both on Switch or whatever. New Mario Rabbids. Supposed to be on Switch. I'm just going through the list right now, But other than that, I think we're basically done.
All right. So, with that in mind,
well, one thing.
What's that?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge on Switch. I might have to tell Phil about that, unless Phil already seen the. But
if we know Phil, he's already seen it.
So far, it's just a name, though. I don't even know if they have a trailer out for it yet or whatnot, though, or when it's supposed to be out next.
Because that's
coming out next year.
Because if you thought that Phil simped for Kingdom Hearts, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, his name is usually Phil TMNT. Think about that for a minute, folks. Because if he simps for Kingdom Hearts and Sora, he's married to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So
There's also two other ones I want to talk about, though, or just mention.
right?
You heard about the Lord of the Rings Gollum, right?
Yep.
It's supposed to be out. Supposed to be out next year. There's that, and then The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt supposed to be the upgraded version,
As
the
w-
PlayStation 5 and
as
Xbox Series X and S.
as well
Here.
as Cyberpunk 2077 at some point this year. Because both of those were due out last year, which didn't happen, and now they're supposed to be due out this year, and we'll see.
I'm guessing probably just a little bit. Other than that, like I already checked all the list, I'm good. So we can just wrap this up.
Yeah, because it's been about an hour and nearly 20 minutes at this point. So with that in mind, we usually do this at the start, but I forgot, so we're doing it now. What have you been playing lately, Nord? As if we don't know.
As if we don't know. Yes. I am still trucking along on ESO.
Yeah.
They announced that the new DLC for 2022 will be arriving in June.
Yes, I saw that too.
And then Blackwood will go into the catalog, which is probably when I'll be playing that. But we'll see how it all shakes out. But it continues to be interesting.
Yeah.
To me, anyway.
Joshy, what have you been playing?
Well, technically, I've been kind of streaming. Haiti? The last couple of days, or nights, or evenings. As of right now, I'm playing Gears 5.
Last night I played some more Mass Effect Legendary Edition, specifically 2. I'm gonna go back to bed after this, so playing Ghost of Tsushima is gonna have to wait till tomorrow now after work. But that being here on this channel on YouTube. But tomorrow I'm also going to be live on Twitch since I don't work Wednesdays, which is the next day. Doing something or another. But lately, it's been Mass Effect, and then I've been trying to work my way through Star Wars Squadrons to get that done on my own. So with that in mind, I don't think we should waste our time with our social media stuff anymore at this point, because with the fact that we have only
everybody knows where to find us.
Yeah. And if you haven't found us yet, then you're probably not going to. is my point of view.
Yeah, or you can watch any of the 500 other videos where we've discussed it.
Yeah, because this was like episode number 48 of this. So
yeah.
And then there's also all the times we mentioned it on the other channel on YouTube and then on my Twitch. So, but a little announcement about the Twitch channel. There's 2 new emotes that are pending approval with Twitch that Desert Nord created for the channel. So thank you, Desert Nord, for that.
Yeah.
Hopefully
I get to make more.
Yeah. There's plans for more that Desert Nord and I have previously discussed, and I will unveil both of those once they have had approval. But I will say what one of is right now. It's effectively the logo of this channel, but it's I believe the tier 2 emote. So if you subscribe to the channel for tier 2, you can use this channel's logo on Twitch in the chat there. And there's a special one, specially made as a thank you to a big supporter of the Twitch channel. A custom emote inspired by her that, if it gets approved, will be the tier 3 one. So,
Yep.
Which I will unveil those like in various chats that of people that let me do so, like Mara, for example. So, yeah. So there's that. So with that in mind, thank you for tuning in, Red Hood. Thank you, Joshy, for being back here again. Thank you, Desert North, for joining us for the first time in a while. And hopefully we'll have some stuff to talk about next week. Stay tuned for Wednesday. There's going to be 2 things dropping on the Entertainment Channel. A filmed reaction of the Book of Boba Fett episode 6 of me. And then the live review of it featuring Joshy and myself. What time the review will be, will try to be around the usual time that this happens on Mondays, right?
Yeah, like 10 o'clock, what is it, Center Time, 11 o'clock.
Central.
Your time, yeah, Central.
And you are welcome, Red Hood, and once again, thank you for being here as well. And congratulations on earning the right to be a mod on the channel, which reminds me, next time I'm live on Twitch and you're there, you're going to get that honor for the Twitch channel as well, because you're usually showing up at some point for the Twitch streams as well. But with all that in mind, there's only one way to end this, guys. And you know how that is, right?
Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah,
I was going to say, though, fuck Naughty Dog. Raylos are weird. Everything.
I want to say one other thing as well, too.
What's that?
Let's go Canada. Let's go Canada, because the truck drivers in Canada are protesting. And what is the main guy in Canada is basically going into hiding. He went into a secret location.
Yeah, Trudeau. Yeah.
Yeah. He went into hiding. That's right now, though. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, let's go truckers in Canada. Fight.
Yeah.
And
A
get
good war.
and get
Although we don't mean it in the same context as Let's Go Brandon.
Yeah.
We mean it literally. Let's go.
get woke, go broke, and boob armor is necessary because they have to be protected.
Did you guys know that the GoFundMe for the truckers?
Yeah.
It like went like 5 million, and all of a sudden they just stopped it.
Correct. GoFundMe decided to withhold the funds because reasons. They came up with reasons, which we know are bullshit.
Yeah.
They're gonna get sued real big, and real bad if they don't stop doing crap like that.
I'll see you guys later. This stuff is supposed to be on Breaking Rocks.
Yeah. Well,
I'll see you guys later.
yeah.